I, 18M, made my crush get a boyfriend, 20F. What do I do? So basically I, 18 male, started talking to this girl, 20 female, about 4 weeks ago. Ever since we grew really close, being in call for multiple hours at a time, opening up to each other, etc. She was showing some genuine interest too by asking a lot of questions, apt me wanting to do stuff, me sending me vids of her talking, apt stuff you can say in one sentence, etc. From my POV signs she liked me. A week ago we were on call and some random dude on Snap started hitting on her. She thought he was corny and cringe SND. I thought nothing of it, and when she told me she wanted to block him I told her to keep talking to him for shits and giggles, expecting nothing to happen. Well, 1 week later they're now together and she started leaving me undelivered for hours, she didn't before, and being way more dry than usual. My friend told me to tell her how I felt cause it's a win-win, cause she either breaks up her boyfriend or I get to move on, but I honestly don't know what to do. She basically told you there's a guy interested in her and you replied by saying keep talking to him. Whether you meant it or not, your reply basically told her you weren't interested in a relationship with her. Only thing you can do now is move on. I told her to keep talking to him for shits and giggles, expecting nothing to happen. Fafo. You self-sabotaged yourself, dude. Move 1. She already has. I think it's best if you just let it be and move on with your life. I doubt she'll break up with him for you, not something I support, because as you said, she has been way more dry ever since getting with him. I don't think you should confess. Find a new person and just stay normal with her. You had your chance to tell her and you didn't. Telling her now is just going to get you screenshotted and laughed at. My partner wants to break up for the smallest thing. What's the best thing to do? F28, M35. I have been seeing a guy for almost 3 years now and we rarely have fights. Even for the smallest argument he wants to end things, but I always fix things and somehow continue. If he really wanted to end things he could have done it, but I realized he does this on purpose, so I will not continue the fight and he gets away with things as usual. A small argument happened and he wants to end things, so I said okay and just let it be. Is this something that men do on purpose? What's the best thing I could do right now? I hate the feeling of losing him, but it really does hurt sometimes to hold on to him. I think he's manipulating you. It's not something normal. I think letting this relationship end would be safer for you than trying to fix it again. You should accept the breakup. If he's willing to give up over the smallest issues, then he's not relationship material. It can't just be you fighting to keep it together. There is no future with a man like that. There are 3 things that son be true. 1. He is manipulative and treats breakup to make you obedient, very common and very bad for you. 2. He don't really care for the relationship, very common and very bad for you. 3. He do want to break up and turn him over by correcting the situation. Very bad for both of you. My advice is break up with him next time. He's manipulating you to end the argument since you say you are the one that fixes it. Most men aren't like this, but I would give him what he wants then. Tell him it's over and see what he does next. It's been 3 years already and it won't get any better most likely. Do you really want to be dealing with this for the next 30+ years? I would do exactly what you finally did. Just tell him to do what he has to do. It could be he needs constant reassurance, or it can just be how he gets his way, like a tantrum. Either way, it's no way to live. He's clearly manipulating you into just letting him off the hook. Can't believe you've been putting up with that for 3 years. Tears of joy. My 30 male, long-distance girlfriend, 31F, cheated on me, and I don't know what to do. So me and my girlfriend are basically long distance, and right now she's at my place under a tourist visa for 2 months. She visited once before and we had been dating for about a year now. Things went okay other than that she struggled a bit to adapt to my climate and culture a little. Then suddenly she cheated on me last night. I took her to a party where they played gothic music because she likes metal and such. I don't like it as much as to go to a party for it, so I offered to just take her to it and pick her up when she's done. It's not like we had to share everything together, right? I came to pick her up but she didn't answer my texts, so I walked in and saw her kissing a guy while they held each other in a slow erotic dance. I literally froze for a minute and couldn't believe what I saw. I decided to remain calm and take her back to my car, which I impulsively slammed my hand on the roof before opening the door and told her to sit down. She said to me, I was only crying to him in his arms, nothing else happened. I said, bullshit, I saw your lips touch his, why are you trying to lie about it? Along the way driving home I felt I was losing control of my emotions and I parked to the side of the road and burst out in tears, slamming my steering wheel. She softly said, if I can say something. I was drunk and mixed medications in my drink, so I didn't know what happened. He was very nice to me and I wasn't able to perceive his intentions. Her return flight ticket isn't until 10th of November and I couldn't find it in my heart to convict her to the streets, so I told her to stay in my house and sleep on the couch for the remaining weeks. Overnight she came in my room multiple times crying and apologizing and begging me for forgiveness. I said, "It's not that I can't forgive you. I just can't forget what happened. Loyalty is the most important trait to me. It's literally the only thing I ask of my partners. And I've been cheated on by my previous exes too. I literally can't trust someone after that kind of infidelity." She continues to shift through sorrow and angry emotions and outbursts where one moment she's pleading and the other she's guilt-tripping me for throwing away the relationship for one mistake. I guess you could say I'm a nice guy and I struggle throwing away empathies and sympathies for people even if they've hurt me. I don't really know what to do, or maybe I just needed to write this down. I thank you for reading. This is so easy, you dump her. Why don't you know what to do? Kick her TF out. She's an adult, she can find her own way back. Be done with her. She's a disloyal, disrespectful, dishonest cheater. You can't change that by saying, "I'm sorry." Personally, I would toss the nice guy out of the window. You extended her the courtesy of letting her live with you for 2 months, and the result is being cheated on? Nope. Give her a day or two to make arrangements and get out. Stop letting her in your room. Stop interacting with her. How can you not know what to do? She's an asshole cheater. Get her out of your house and your life. Long distance isn't a relationship. It's a pen pal. She cheats in front of you, say goodbye and walk away. Here's what you do. Dump her and pick up your crown, king. I go as far as paying for a flight change so she leaves immediately. If she does that while with you, imagine when you're not there. Let her go and save yourself. My 33F, fiance 33M won't even discuss getting married. How long is too long to wait? My fiance and I have been together for almost 7 years. When we began dating, I made it clear to him that my relationship goals were to get married and I wanted more children by 30. I have one child who was 7 when we began dating, and it was important to me for him to have a sibling that wasn't too far apart in age. He agreed, said marriage and children was what he wanted as well. Neither of us have ever been married. He has no children. Fast forward to last year and it had been 5 years together, no children and no rain. So I told him it was fine if he didn't want to get married, but I did, and I no longer wanted to continue this relationship if he didn't want the same thing. Finally he purposed. I was so excited, immediately began dreaming of what kind of wedding we would have and all that. I asked him multiple times when he wanted to get married, what kind of wedding, who his bridal party would be. He never wanted to really discuss it. I would ask him about once a month. So when would you like to start planning getting married? He wouldn't ever give me a definite answer. So around the 4th month of asking this, he blew up on me. So I quit talking Abbott at all. Fast forward to now, we have lived together for 3 months. I do all the cleaning, cooking, take care of my child and dog, plus work. I asked him last week when he thought we could start planning our wedding. His answer was, when we win the lottery. We don't even have a lottery in our state. I'm hurt by this. I feel as though he doesn't think I deserve that title. I have sacrificed so much to move here with him. If I would have known years ago that things would be this way, I would have never stayed with him. We have a good relationship and he treats me and my son really good. But things have always been what he wants and I just give in. It's obvious he doesn't want to get married and he just keeps telling me he does to keep me around. I hate to have wasted all these years, I just don't know what to do. Sounds like he gave you a shut up ring, with no actual intention to make you his wife. If you know he is stringing you along and does not want to get married, then you break your engagement, leave him, and move on. I'm extremely sorry to say this, but he got a personal chef and a housekeeper out of you without doing any work on his part. I know this is much easier said than done, but you need to leave him. You'll waste even more years if you stay with him. You are so young. I guarantee you can do better than this trash man. It's obvious he doesn't want to get married and he just keeps telling me he does to keep me around. I hate to have wasted all these years, I just don't know what to do. You do know what to do. So I told him it was fine if he didn't want to get married, but I did, and I no longer wanted to continue this relationship if he didn't want the same thing. He gave you a shut-up ring but has no intention of marrying you. I waited 9 years to marry someone who didn't want to marry me, and we only got married because we had a baby. That ended in divorce, as you may have predicted. If you want to marry someone, it doesn't take you a decade to figure that out. Move on. I'd end this. He doesn't want to marry you. Please don't bring a kid into this mess. You are free to ruin your own life, but don't get pregnant and ruin an innocent kid life.